Well, get ready, everyone, because this weekend we will spring forward for daylight saving time and lose an hour of sleep. And losing that hour can really have a big impact on all of us.
And this morning we brought in an expert to talk about how we can adjust and all get a better night's sleep. Dr. Kimberly Honn, Associate Professor of WSU's Sleep and Performance Research Center, joining us on the show. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.
I want to jump right in because, you know, we hear all the time about springing forward and how that makes us a little bit groggy, but how does it affect our bodies?
Essentially, we're jet lagged
that makes
a
sense.
small extent, but when it's population wide, everyone's feeling that jet lag effects. You're a little bit more groggy. You might make more mistakes. You might have trouble falling asleep when you're trying to adjust to a new time zone, essentially. So giving yourself a little extra time to catch up on rest as you're adjusting.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense, actually. And we're sure it's even more troublesome for parents. You know, they're trying to get themselves acclimated and their kids. So do you have any tips for them?
Making sure that you are scheduling enough time for your kids to get the rest they need, especially with early school start times. It's really hard for their bodies to adjust. And, adults are able to anticipate and prepare maybe before the fall back or the spring ahead, change their bedtimes a little bit, but it's hard for kids and they need a lot of sleep. They're growing. It's how they're helping to remember the things they're learning in school, pay attention in school.
Sure.
So getting enough sleep is really important for them.
And so I want to ask you, we are only a couple of days away now, so we probably should have started planning a little bit earlier, but what can we do now to prepare for springing ahead, or what can we do afterwards?
Well, making sure that you are getting enough time for rest, whether you need a nap on Sunday afternoon or on Monday, knowing that the effects of the transition to daylight saving time can take up to even a week to get really adjusted to the new time zone. So giving yourself the time and the opportunity to sleep.
Okay, and then WSU actually is leading the research on sleep study. I just learned that this morning. So tell us more about the research you do at WSU.
So we have some of the world's experts in sleep research at WSU, ranging from animal sleep research, working with cells, with fruit flies, with rodents. We have our human sleep lab. We do policy work. In my lab that I work in, the human sleep and performance side of things, we study a lot of effects of sleep loss on driving performance, on decision making, on your reaction time. We look at the effects of things like stress in combination with sleep deprivation. So we recruit people from the population to come do our studies, and we have a lot of different types of studies.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But you said we don't qualify.
Yeah, our schedule's too wonky.
A lot of our studies use healthy, normal sleepers with a good nighttime sleep schedule, but we do have some studies that are looking at shift workers and people with other types of sleep considerations. So you might qualify.
Okay.
That is so fascinating. I love that that's right here in Pullman.
Yeah, seriously.
That's incredible. Well, now, Dr. Honn, of course, thank you so much for joining us this early in the morning. But now stick around because Dr. Honn will be taking your questions as well. So that's very exciting. So be sure to text in your sleep-related questions to us at 509-448-2000. She will answer your questions coming up on Up with KREM on KSKN 20.